When you look at your photos, do they feel too distant? Or maybe too cramped? That's probably your focal length talking. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dice. I'm a photographer based in Christchurch, New Zealand. Today I just want to keep it simple and talk about something I've been thinking about lately. No matter how many focal lengths I try, I always end up back at 35mm. And I thought it would be fun to share why. So I just recently picked up this Viltrox 35mm 1.2 lab lens for my Sony a7 IV. Don't worry, this isn't a review of this lens. I'll save that for later maybe. So I just want to talk about the focal length itself, 35mm. Like most photographers like you guys, I've gone through the cycle of many lenses and focal lengths. 24, 28, 50, even longer lenses like the 85 and the 135. For years, I've bounced between 24 and 50 as my main focal length, my favorites. 24 is fun, it's creative, and it shows the environment which I love. I love it when it comes to landscape photography. But honestly, sometimes it feels too wide for other things. 50mm is one of the classics. Great for portraits and amazing for detailed shots. I had the 50GM 1.2 for a couple of years and I loved it, but I never really clicked with it. The so-called nifty 50 just doesn't spark much for me creatively. So these are really good lenses and focal lengths, but when I'm using them, I feel a bit disconnected. So I keep asking myself, which focal length actually lets me tell the whole story without fighting me? For me, it's not all about the sharpness, the background separation or bokeh. It's about connection. And there are two types actually. The connection to your subject and the connection to your viewer. They say that the commonly accepted focal length of our eyes is around 22mm to 24mm. Some even says it's 50mm, but which I think it's a bit too tight. But I feel 35mm is just right, the sweet spot. Images or portraits at 35mm look natural, not cluttered, making our photos more authentic and relatable. 24 feels too wide, and 50 feels too cropped. But 35, it makes the viewer feel like they're right there, and that matters. Because lens choice isn't just technical, it changes how your viewers experience the story of your images. That's why I love 35mm. It's wide enough for context, the place, the light, the scene, but still tight enough to focus on your subject. It's the middle ground between intimacy and storytelling. And that intimacy is huge for me, especially when I'm shooting couples. I remember shooting an engagement session before with the Sony 35mm 1.4G Master. Just one lens throughout the shoot, and at first I thought I might regret not bringing options, but by the end, I realized I didn't miss anything. I could step in close and catch their laughs, then step back and suddenly the whole environment was part of the story. It felt natural for me and for them as well. Some people will tell you that the 35mm focal length is boring. It's not as dramatic as a wide angle and not as glamorous as the 85mm or 135. I get it, but for me, that so-called boring quality is actually a gift. It forces me to move, to interact, and to notice layers and details that I'd probably miss when I'm using a zoom lens or a tight lens. You can shoot a portrait, step closer and it feels more personal. Or you can step back and suddenly it's about the environment too. Same lens, no changing. Super simple. I like creating layers with the 35mm, shooting through a subject and focusing on the far background. I also love shooting at low angle to create depth and get creative with compositions. It's perfect for detail and complementary shots as well. And that's why I love the fixed 35mm cameras like the Fuji X106. You don't have a choice, so you basically need to move your feet, change your angle, and engage what's in front of you. So yeah, that's why I keep coming back to the 35mm focal length. It's not the most exciting focal length, and honestly I sometimes wish it was a bit wider or tighter. But that's the beauty of it. It's good enough that I don't overthink. And that's when the best photos happen. It keeps me focused on what really matters while shooting. This story. What about you? Do you have any focal length you always come back to? Do you have any favorites? Drop in the comments below, and yeah, I love to hear it. Thanks for hanging out, and if you enjoyed this very short chat, consider subscribing. More photography talks and stories coming soon. Bye bye.